Okay.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Cervantes podcast. Happy Women's History Month, everyone. Joining me today on the podcast to speak about everything you need to know about college, scholarships, dorming, and essentially our advice for incoming freshmen is public relations major, influencer, and host of the weekly report with Miss NFL, Taylor Riller, and
Oh
community
my
health
gosh.
major, Kendyll Ferguson. How are you guys? How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I'm doing good. How are
That's
you?
good. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Of
Of
course.
course.
To give a little background to everyone, Taylor, Kendall, and I all go to Hofstra University, located in Hempstead, Long Island, in the state of New York. Hofstra is a private university about 25 miles away from NYC. We've had 3 presidential debates, two being with our forever president Barack Obama in 2008 with the late John McCain, and in 2012 with Mitt Romney. One notable alumni from our school is Emmy Award-winning actor Joe Morton, Olivia Pope's dad on ABC Scandal. I thought that was cool. What made you guys want to come to Hofstra?
I thought Hofstra was a beautiful campus. I thought they had everything that I wanted and needed in a school. It was small. They had small classrooms, which I really liked, and they basically trapped me from the tour. So
Nice.
Yeah, they finessed me on the tour.
Oh, so they made it better than what it seemed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like I didn't know what Hofstra was until my dad kept talking about it because my cousin went here and played basketball. So
Okay.
he kept talking about it and I'm like, okay. And then like you know how they send the emails for like the free application emails. So I said, let me just go ahead and apply. And I got in. And so then I came on the tour, I think in like February of like senior year. And I got her, they said, oh, we're close to NYC, all of that. And that's how they got me. So
It was my aunt. She was like, "Oh, she went here for her undergrad, and she was like, oh, this is such a good school. You're gonna love it." And I was like, "Okay." And I was like,
right.
it was. I don't. The way she made it seem, I'm not experiencing that.
yeah.
So
Where
I
is
don't
it?
know. I
Y'all
don't know.
see
Like, it's
it?
not right. It's not totally bad because I like the dorms. I feel like it's way better than like where I was before, like Iona College. But I don't know. It's not. And then now with the pandemic, it's not giving what it's supposed to give.
Not at all. It was like this. It was like this. And then when the pandemic came, it said,
Right.
it just went down.
Hofstra has a lot of sororities and professional fraternities. Are you guys interested in joining any?
Personally, I don't know yet. I've never had like a family background of people who are like deltas or AKAs or things of that sort, fraternities, sororities. So I don't know. I feel like if I get more exposed to the culture, then maybe I would like pursue it in the future or something.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. Like, I know that some of the, organizations are active on campus. So it's just interesting to see which ones are active and, the events that they're having, especially now that like it's the Rona. So we'll see.
Right. I don't know. I think I'm kind of interested. I don't like when people say like, "Oh, you're paying for friends," because like I didn't pay for you guys. Like I don't need a fraternity.
right.
But I think that like it just depends on what's your intent. Is it because of parties and a cool sweater, or are you trying to network and
Right.
build afterwards? So I think it depends. Dartmouth College, a private university in New Hampshire and member of the Ivy League, has had 20 tips on their school website on time management. Two pieces of advice I like that they gave was look ahead in your month and try to anticipate what is going to happen so you can better schedule your time. Also, students should concentrate on one particular task at a time before moving on to the next. Do you guys have good time management skills?
I get I get it done. I think that's what's most important. I get it done. Um
It's the silence.
time wise, it's like it depends. It depends on the day. If I'm feeling productive, everything's gonna get done. If I'm not,
Right.
I'll be doing something last minute. So
I think it was easier before the pandemic when we had in-person classes. Cause then I kind of like, okay, I gotta go to class the next day. I gotta, and we still do
Right.
that on Zoom, but it's like we're in the room 24/7. Like my bed is right here.
Right.
Like,
and
And
then
you
on
forget
top of
that
that,
there's stuff due.
yes,
yeah,
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, it's online. I have time. No, you don't. It's due tonight.
Exactly. Heavy on it. It's due tonight. Oh, did you know that?
Right.
Like,
I don't know. It's like online makes you think that it's easier or like you have more time, but I feel like it's the same amount.
It's the same amount and a little bit more on top of that because they want you to do discussion boards, all that other extra stuff. And it's like, okay, we're still in a pandemic.
Damn, can I get a break?
We're still in a pandemic.
I currently work at the clothing brand Hollister, and when I'm back home, I work as a waiter at Green Street Country Club. Are you guys working? And is it difficult balancing work and school or building a brand and remembering to finish papers on time?
Well, I'm not working right now, which sucks.
Okay.
Because I like, having a job. I like having money, but there's no way I could possibly fit in a job right now. And it's what's like trying to get a job, huh?
I feel like you are though, like working with the NFL, Miss NFL thing, and like.
Oh yeah, like okay, see, and that's a whole job by itself. Like trying to be on, because like my thing is social media, so trying to be on social media, put out content, all of that stuff, plus school. It's like, so once Miss NFL ended, I was so happy. Like I loved it, but I was happy it ended because it was too much trying to edit.
You finished it?
Yeah, it's done now. Like for the season.
Oh, okay.
But next year, like hopefully, like I'll have it planned out better so I could just keep going instead of ending it during football season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wish I had a job, but it ain't here. So
it's a lot. I know Kendyll can speak to that.
Yeah,
I'm drowning currently in assignments and work and trying to balance social life at the same time.
Right, because we don't have cars. I feel like that.
Exactly. There's no car. It's Uber or bus.
It's a lot.
Like, it's a lot to balance because after I come from like a long day at work, even if it's like 4 hours because I'm part-time, after like interacting with all these people, I'm drained. And then to have to do work on top of that. But chase the bag. Like
no, it's hard because it's like you finish work and all you want to do is sleep. But by the time like I get back, like I can't sleep because then I'll be behind.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But at the same time, we need money and like I can't ask my mom to Zelle me every 5 seconds.
Exactly. It can't be like, can I have money for Uber Eats? It's none of that.
Right.
I feel like in high school it would have been easier to have a job because like I worked my last retail job, I did that and I did band and I had like regular school, which was an intense program, and I did dual enrollment.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But if you're thinking about it now, it's like these teachers do not think that we have lives outside of their classes. It's the 11:59 deadline for me.
Yeah.
Like that needs to be changed.
One teacher had he had 10 o'clock, I think. I was like, what?
I'd be tight.
Why are we doing this?
Why do you think this is okay?
like we have, because we want to make the most out of these 4 years, but it's like I can't do everything at once, like it's nice that I have Fridays off. I don't know, do you guys have Fridays off?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that makes it kind of okay, but it's still a lot.
I wish.
I feel like now that we have this pandemic, it's like it's forcing us to, I wouldn't say grow up because we're grown, but it's forcing us to celebrate our process. Like we have to get jobs, we have to do our work, but it's like we can't even do it right. I'm trying not to mess up the word because y'all know I can't talk regularly.
The right way because of the pandemic.
Yes, because of the pandemic. And it's like, I feel like I wonder what it would be like if we didn't have this pandemic. I feel like we would have more of the college experience.
Yeah.
Because it'll be one thing if you were working and getting the college experience. You're working and you're just doing work. You're just doing school.
Right.
Right.
Like,
no parties. At least I'm not trying to party. Yeah, that's so true. And I was telling somebody like, these are supposed to be the best years of our life.
Right. We're supposed to have these crazy stories talking about, and we did this when we were in college, and your Uncle Cervantes was out there.
Right. Auntie Taylor was doing this. Auntie
Right, like what are we doing?
We had a spirit flight that one time. Like we can't even do that.
We're sitting in the dorm.
Where's the Miami spring break trip?
Right. That's
So
what
Taylor, you're from the DMV area. What do you like and dislike about going to school out of state?
I mean, I like being away from home. Like New York is different from the DMV. Well, Long Island. I mean, the city is too, but Long Island is like, because the DMV is set up like DC is the city, and then the V part and the Maryland part are the suburbs. And so it's kind of like Long Island is the suburbs too, but it's still kind of different. Like everything seems so spaced out here.
It feels dead over here.
Yeah, it just feels bland. Like it just feels bland. But I would say so yeah, but I like being away from home. I like even though we're not close to the city, like I like the fact that I can get there. I know how to get there if I want to go.
Right.
People wise, New York people are mean. Like
yes.
And it's not a lie. Like
yes.
They're not mean. They're just they don't know you. Like
we're hustlers. That's
yes.
Like,
I had a cousin. She's from Florida, but she moved to Louisiana, and she came to visit us. And she was like, "Oh, like I noticed, like you guys are very like mean and like straightforward." Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, my mom told me not to talk to strangers. When I get in the elevator, just
just mind your business."
But she comes from a place where it's like, do you need sugar or like how can I help you? But it's hard to be nice to someone as a New Yorker that you don't know. It sounds weird, but like Kendyll can speak to that.
Yeah, like I don't know. For New York, it's just like you mess with the people in your group. That's it. Right. And it's just I don't know. It's just like that because everybody does their own thing.
If you're in the wrong hood.
Yeah, exactly. It can't be friendly with everybody. Hey, how you doing? No, keep walking.
Right.
Keep walking.
Right.
Now, what's wrong with him? No, keep walking because you don't know what's gonna happen. Right.
When we visit when me and my mom visit like our friends in like Soundview projects, she walks straight to the building. Right. And walks straight to the car.
You get in that building, you go upstairs.
Right.
Mess around.
But I do feel like to what Taylor said, I do feel like we could be a little nicer. I don't know. I think it's just hustle and bustle.
Yeah. It's hustle, get money. That's it. If you're not talking money, I don't want to talk. That's all it is.
Kendyll, you're from the boogie down Bronx. What do you like and dislike about going to school in state?
Okay. In state, I would say I'm close to home. So, cause I get homesick. So it's nice that I can like go home whenever. But after I saw this TikTok talking about, you can't change in a place that you were like, where you grew up in, I was like, yeah, I need to get out of here. I was like, I need to.
So do you feel like, I feel like this is a whole different like world kind of. I feel like we are out of our comfort zone. Or do you feel like this is still like, oh, this is still New York. I still need something new?
I feel like I still need something new. But at this point, I'm going to just get that when I go to grad school or like somewhere else. I mean, to pursue like a higher level of education. But yeah, this is comfort zone-ish.
Okay.
Because,
Okay.
Because I'm like city to like suburb-ish. Yeah, it's weird.
Right. And I'm only like 45 minutes away.
Exactly.
From the house. Yeah. Yeah, I do hope that like if I can't go to school, like grad school out of state, then hopefully I can travel and like go different places.
Yeah, that's what my vision is too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like coming up here, it did kind of change me. Like, I don't think it necessarily changed me. I think it produced the person that I always wanted to be. Like, I'm able to leave when I want to leave, go when I want to go, buy what I want to buy. Like I've always been an independent person. Plus I have two brothers. So it's kind of like I became my own person that I already wanted to be. But then it's like when I go back home, they be expecting me to be little old Tay-Tay. And I'm like,
and it's like, I'm not that person anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. But I hope like this pandemic ends because I feel like once we get used to the same place. Like we're used to being around here now. Like
right.
So it's like we want to travel, we want to experience different things. And it would be
Right.
one thing if, we could do that, but Miss Rona.
I'm going to Texas.
It's a
I'm going to
mess.
ATL.
What'd you say?
I said I'm going to Texas. I'm going to ATL. I'm going to
Yes.
Florida. I'm trying to travel this summer. Like,
yeah, because I've only been like to the East Coast, and the
yes,
only
that's
country
what
I've
I'm
been to is
saying.
Canada.
It bothers me that I have not been to like California or something like that. Like, but I feel like I'm not their speed. Like,
I've been to California, and California is nice. Like, I only went when I was 9, right? But so imagine us going now when we're grown. But it was nice, but like, yeah, California people are like,
I just feel like they're slow.
It's like, it's not slow. It's like medium.
Like, they're
but they
like,
got time to talk. They're like, hey,
like the opposite of us. Like they're laid back, they're nicer.
Yeah, they're chill.
Okay.
And I'm go. So it's like, it can't be have a great day, stay safe, do what, like, cut the combo. Let's go. Thank
totally
you so
rad,
much. Have
bro.
a great day. Right. Rock on.
But you can find that on the East Coast too, because I went to this, where are we at? I went to the Appalachian Mountains in North Carolina, where I don't even know if they're called the Appalachian Mountains. I think it is called Appalachian Mountains though. But in North Carolina, and when I tell you, like, this little town was so hippie, like, it was like, hi, but then it was like after that, it was like, yeah. So like, I don't know if they were on drugs or what, but it was so hippie. Like, it was like, it changed. Like, it went from fast to slow, and I'm like, okay,
that's weird. That's weird. Or when you start seeing like you start seeing Confederate flags.
Yes.
That's why I can't go to school in the South.
Honestly, when I start seeing the American flags, I'm just like,
that too.
Like, something about an American flag now just seems real.
It's a cult.
Real.
Like, why do you have such a big flag in front of your house?
Right, we get it. We're in America. We get it. I can see if you like served our country, but if you're just hooting and tooting like with a pickup truck, I'm really thinking like, okay, you're gonna shoot me. For real.
Them Confederate
no,
people,
yeah.
let it go.
Right.
Let it
right.
go. And now it's like not even the Confederate flag scares me anymore. It's the Trump flag for me.
Yes.
Yeah, he's out of office. What are we doing?
Yes.
Like
what are you supporting? What do you support? It's done. It's done.
It's over with.
Unfortunately, he can run again. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of scary. But it's done now. Like, get rid of that,
It's over.
It's like both of these people, the Confederate people and the Trump people. It's one thing if y'all had a little but y'all lost on both sides. The Confederacy lost, and now these Trump people lost. Let it go.
Take the L. You lost.
That would be a great episode, because people are always saying like, oh, like Confederate, it's history, Southern pride. I know a lot of Black people in the South. I know a lot of Black people in the South who their Southern pride is not rooted in that.
Right. There's the Confederate Southern pride is rooted in racism.
Yeah.
Right. That's all that is.
Why are you proud of that?
Right. Just call it for what it is. Like,
they don't know any better.
On your YouTube channel, Wrigley Tay, back in April 2019, you uploaded a video on how you earned over $2.1 million in scholarships and got accepted into 20 colleges. How are you able to find so much money in scholarships?
So I like, aside from the money that I got from the schools individually when they sent the acceptance package,
okay,
I was on this app called Raise Me, and so it literally pairs you with colleges. Once you upload your grades, you upload like your community service or whatever, and those colleges that are a part of that app will pay you but they won't pay you. They'll add up the money that you'll get in scholarship for getting an A in history, for getting a B in whatever. And so all of those things added up. And so from each school, I got a certain amount of money based on what their criteria was, and then the amount of money they were willing to give for, that grade or that community service. And so most of the money came from the app, because I think like 20 or 30 schools had me paired on that app. And I said, that's a good app if, like, you really can't afford to go to school and you need somewhere to go, because most of those schools were giving basically full rides. But the thing is, like, you had to go to that school in order to get the money. So, like, of course, I didn't get it.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that's a good.
yeah, it's a good app. And then, like, the way I always tell kids, like, when they, people younger than me, when they start applying, when you take that PSAT, make sure you put your right email down, because that's from the PSAT. That's how they start sending you those free applications and interest letters and all of that. Because I think that's how Hofstra got me from the PSAT.
Through those emails.
Yeah, through those emails and stuff.
Right. And I would advise everyone, like, there's literally a scholarship for everything. Brown eyes, being Black, being Hispanic, like everything. Athlete. Yeah, so you definitely have to apply. Yeah. I was a little bit lazy, so my family was like my family was like calling Hofstra Financial Aid, like Bob, like trying to get more money. What can we do? Cervantes did this, what how much more money we can get. So yeah, scholarships are important, because FAFSA, if your parents make a certain amount of money, they're not going to give you a lot.
Right.
I don't know. The government thinks like, oh, you meet the mark. So like, the Riller
you qualify for the loan.
Right. And it's like, no, I just made
it. Right. I just made it, please.
Or like my mom did overtime that year. That's why.
Yeah, like, and I think hopefully with the new administration, things change, because it's no reason not saying only America, but I'm thinking, like, I remember in my Spanish class, I wondered, they going to school for free over there in Spain. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, in America, y'all are so pressed on having a capitalistic society that it's not flowing. Because if you want a capitalistic society, everybody has to have the same, at least the same starting point. And Black and brown communities don't have that.
Nope.
And so it's like, hopefully with this new administration, things change. But for the future kids who watch this, don't be lazy. Go ahead and start applying, look it up. Because even our school, like this summer, I was trying to get more scholarship money. And what they'll tell you is, like, say you got a scholarship coming in, they told me, oh, this is it. Like, I think my scholarship coming in was $26,000. That's it. They're not increasing that for the amount of time you hear. Like, at least you'll hear, once you become a sophomore, they'll increase it by a certain amount. They're not even doing that. And then I asked, well, do y'all have something for, minority students? Oh, our school is not a need-based school.
Yeah.
That's what he told me. Our school's not a need-based school. And then I found out, so remember I think it came out in the summer maybe, when the Biden administration had the plan for the student loan stuff, when they first started talking about it.
Student loan.
Yeah. And remember when they came out with the list of schools that would qualify for clearing it. And my brother goes to St. John's, and he was on the list. And I'm like, well, why is Hofstra not on this list? But it's because St. John's and all of the other schools like HBCUs and all of that, they're minority serving universities and colleges. Hofstra doesn't even identify as a minority serving school, but y'all want Black and brown kids to come here. And low key, that gets me hot, because I'm like,
that's messed up. Because then it's like crazy. You're using us for like the flyers and the website and diversity quota, but you don't really care. Like, that's not good. And you're in a predominantly Black town.
Literally, yeah.
Literally. And so, like, low key, this makes me want to, like, even while we're talking about it, it makes me want to get involved. But then it's like, we have so much on our plate. Getting involved in another thing, like, we would have to get on SGA. We would have to start talking to administration. And think about it, when they did the BLAC, how long it took for them to meet the demands, and they still have not even met them.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna get talking on here about that. But
no, it's so true. It's so true. Like, I think, going to a predominantly white institution, it's like, it frustrates. I was gonna get to that later, but it frustrates me, because it's like, I knew what I was getting myself into, but I didn't know how serious it was until I was there. Like, I'm here. So that's true. But for the incoming freshmen listening, I think, don't be afraid to ask questions. Like I used to be on the phone with financial aid for hours. I had a list of my notes app, like
Mm-hmm.
websites, because I feel like we're just a number. We're just like another student, and you need to like make sure you know what you're doing. Don't, so there's no so when it comes time to paying for the bill, there's no surprises. You
No
know,
surprises, yeah.
and you know what you're paying for, and it's like, yeah, just know what you're doing. Because I think so. Because before I was like, oh, like I thought it was 30,000 for the whole like 4 years. No, sir, no, Mr. Wilson, it's 30,000 per year. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what?
And that's the crazy thing. That's
Yeah.
the crazy. Like, I knew it was per year, but it's like seeing you having to sign your name. And so for me, my family doesn't qualify for government loans. We can qualify for the Parent Plus loan, but my parents didn't want to do that. So it's like, because see, the Parent Plus loan, all they for the Parent Plus loan, they sign it, and so say when you graduate, they're coming for your parents for that money. They're not coming for you.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
the private loan, your name is on the loan and your parents sign it. But when you graduate, they're coming for you instead of your parents. And
Right.
life is life. And so my parents were like, listen, you gotta get that private loan, baby.
So it's
And
on you to pay for it. Right.
yeah, and then you see that 30,000 every year, 30 times four, like what the heck? 30,000 times 4 years, and then say you want to go to graduate school.
And they give you less financial aid in graduate school.
Right.
So
And
it's
so
a
it's
whole
a
mess.
lot. I mean, it's another conversation. But I'm like, to the future, students listening, really do your research and figure out what you want to do and how you want to do it.
What does your school do for you? Where it's located? What's their mission? What is the racial ethnicity breakdown? What scholarships do they offer? Yeah, do
And for
all.
anybody who's listening that wants to go to Hofstra too, like, don't think we don't like it here. Like, it's just we're in a position where we have to make it work for us. As far
Right.
as if we were at a Howard, at a Hampton, or at even like, a regular diverse school, because really Hofstra is not diverse. So if we were at a regular diverse school, we would have more, the school would have more value to us as students. But we're at Hofstra and we're trying to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah, we
Now, if
have
you're a New York student and this is what works for you and you feel like this is what works for you, then do that. But make sure you do your research and really figure out, you don't have to have it all together too. I think that's the misconception with going to college.
right.
Like, oh, I gotta have my major, I gotta have this, I gotta have that. Because you can get in here and have your major and then want to change it. And there's nothing wrong with that. So
Right.
don't put too much pressure on yourself. But once you say, I want to go to school, like, really do your research and figure out how you could do it the most way. Going to a 2-year college, I promise you, like, I would have did that if I would have known what I was getting myself into. And
Mm,
don't rely on your parents too to tell you everything, because they're gonna forget. Half the time they don't know. They're working, trying to, provide for the family. So you really have to take the initiative and do your research.
right. Make sure you do. Even though Hofstra has an optional SAT score submission, did you guys feel it was important to take that test? And how do you guys feel about standardized testing?
I hate standardized testing
Same.
because I have test anxiety. So I'm going to literally forget everything that I learned. And I'm going to have to try to put it on the paper and write something out and, like, get a good grade, although I don't know anything. Like, I
Right.
don't know, it just shouldn't happen because not everybody is a good test taker. Like, I feel like generalized grades, like, your report cards, stuff like that, that's what they should base it off of. And like things, extracurriculars that you do, like what service do you provide to your community, things like that are more important than a test that tests you on literally algebra, trigonometry, and like how to form a correct sentence. Like, that stuff bothers me for
Right.
real.
Right. And it's not fair because I was just thinking to myself, like, as a New Yorker, like growing up, if you went to public school, you have to take your final exam, your
Mm-hmm.
reasons, and the SAT too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what if, and that's not fair because like I went to a private high school. So my education, it's not better, but it's a little different than as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to a public high school. So what if
Mhm.
I'm getting all the great textbooks and knowledge and curriculum, and then another school, maybe Mount Vernon, or somewhere in the
Right.
might not be getting the same because the teacher's underfunded and the school's underfunded, and it's just they don't have there's 30 kids, whereas me it was like 18. So I
Right.
feel like we're both taking a test and it's not
It's not.
fair.
Yeah.
It's not the same. And then you got kids out here lying about their test scores.
Cheating.
Like them two girls, the famous girls that got into what, USC or whatever they got
Yes,
into.
I'm Becky from Full House, Lori Loughlin.
Yeah, like it's not. I feel like I'm kind of happy that the kids, even though it was because of a pandemic, these kids that are coming into college this year or next year, they didn't have to do the SAT, that they made it an option.
Yeah.
Because there's so much stress. Like it's already your senior year. Some of us are in accelerator programs. Some of us are trying to get out of high school, figuring out what we're doing. And y'all talking about we have to take a test just to get into college. And some kids are not good test takers. Like I had to take the SAT 2 times just to get a good score, a decent score. Like
I didn't have a good score.
I don't know how I made it into how the colleges accepted me with my SAT scores, but hey,
we're here, and
We're
your
here.
SAT score does not.
it doesn't define you. Yeah. Because I used to compare myself to other students talking about, dang, like how they get this score, like they're not even
260.
right. Mind you, these students were not even good in like actual school. I'm not gonna put somebody down, but it just blew me that that's how it works.
And it's one thing when you're in high school, because some people are just naturally people. So say you do all these things in your school, your SGA, your prom committee, your all of these things, and then you want to go into your dream school. They're asking what was your school involvement, about community service, all of that, and then the one thing you don't get in. The one reason you don't get into the school is because of your test score. And that's what happened to me with Howard. And I'm still salty about it. Like,
wow.
Yeah, I didn't mind. So I had a group of friends back then, and I think we all applied to Howard. And, or like at least 4 or 5 of us. I was the only one who didn't get in because of my SAT score. Because I applied early action too, because I want the scholarship money. And so I didn't get in because of my SAT score, but I had the GPA, I had all of that, but because of my SAT score, I didn't get in. And I don't think that institutions that you're going to end up paying should decide whether or not you're able to go to school because of a score.
It's so messed up. And it's like, I'm not going to name any names, but I know somebody who was a student athlete. He was like, he ran the school in terms of like basketball and stuff. The kid said that his coach for his school, like, just get this SAT score and you're in. And he cheated on his SAT on the girl in front of him.
When I tell you
so many people cheated,
when I tell you so many people cheated on the SAT, and I was like, how? It just blew me. It blew me.
Looking at me the entire time, and
that's what I'm saying.
Right. I'm trying to think. Like I'm trying to process with the room. With
exactly.
Like,
right. Like.
Right.
It was so much.
And the ACT is trash.
I wasn't gonna.
Trash. I took that. The ACT was trash. Like, I just want to know who came up with, okay, let's test all these students and see, like,
but y'all know what they don't tell you about standardized testing when you're in high school? I don't know how it works for private school, but for public school, the state gets paid. So I don't know how y'all did it in private school, but for public school, we would have a standardized test like every other quarter. And like it will be, like you'll have the certain, I forgot what they called it, but we would have a test like every quarter. And those standardized tests, it determined the amount of funding the school gets.
Okay.
So that's why some of these people are like pressing, when you're in high school, the teachers will press, you got to have this test, you got to have, like, like the reading test and stuff like that.
Wow.
I know they used to do that.
We had New York State tests in middle school.
Yeah. I think that's kind of similar to what it is.
Yeah, did y'all have to do tests in elementary school too? Or was okay, yeah.
Yes. Wow, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either until my mom told me.
I just feel like the school system in general is just kind of wonky, like
It's
especially
America for me.
with the state exams and stuff like that. Because if I'm saying I took the FLAX exam, which is a foreign language exam, and no one else took that, what is like?
What was the point?
Did you take that?
Mm-mm.
You see, like,
What was the point?
what was the point? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it should be based off of like just have a final exam at the end of the senior year or every year have a final exam. Colleges look at that, but also all the other stuff that you do.
Exactly, that's it.
And then it's like some people can't afford it. I remember I felt embarrassed asking for a fee waiver, and my mom was like, "Why are you embarrassed? Like,
Get that fee.
yeah,
I mean, get that fee
I
waiver.
couldn't even qualify
You know,
for that. Like,
some people can't afford SAT prep. You know,
yes.
Yeah, like
It's
Yeah, it's so hard.
ridiculous because I had I think it was my sophomore year, we had SAT prep, and this teacher was not even like prepping us for anything. I'm like, so how are we supposed to get into college? How are we supposed to get into college if you're not prepping us?
no,
I had to like look up on my own a like separate SAT prep class
like
that I had
Khan
to go on,
Academy.
like that I had to go to on the weekends. And I still didn't do good. But
yeah, I
hey,
had
you
Khan
know,
Academy and still
but hey,
didn't.
like,
But yeah, Khan
It is what it
Academy, for
is.
those listening, that is a great free website you can use to help you study for SAT and like for regular stuff too. Yeah. That's a
And
good-
I would say study, like, even though like we're talking about it, like, oh, we didn't do it, whatever. Still, I feel like study too. Like, don't just because we're saying that,
Yeah.
still study. Like, still do your best because it's gonna come back to you regardless. Like,
Because I did all my SAT homework, but I never studied, if that makes sense.
yeah, like
what I
I didn't study. I tried to cram it in, you know, the week of the test. I'm like, okay, let me do a little
the
something.
night before I was cramming. And then after, yeah, so it's
And
like,
then I got the attitude like, oh, I don't know the questions anyway, so let me just.
bro, I looked on that exam, I said, first of all, why are we reading like 2 pages of work and then trying to answer questions based off of that? And then we're
Answer
timed for
12 questions or 10 questions.
it doesn't make sense.
Right. And the wording, the vocabulary, like what was the narrator's blah blah blah. Certain kids don't know those vocabulary words. I
Right.
feel like that's another thing. Like if you're from a certain community, you're not
Mhm.
using words like I don't
Yeah.
know, you know, like
Right.
that's not fair. Whereas
It's
other
just
kids,
not ethical.
their teachers talk like that, and they're, you know, so yeah, it's a whole mess. I think
It's
they
a
need to
whole
get it right
mess.
in college. Have you guys started looking at internships yet?
Person. I've been trying to get an internship since freshman year, and no. Unfortunately, we cannot take you. No. So we will see this year what happens. I'm trying to get one for the summer. But I would tell people who are trying to look for an internship too, like regardless of what your field is, think of like your field and then think of the top internship you want, right? Not to say don't go for it, but look for those little ones. Say I'm public relations. I want to work for the NFL. First of all, the NFL doesn't even do, they don't even allow interns for college.
Oh, wow.
They allow only seniors and juniors, some juniors. They're mostly looking for seniors. So I can't look straight for NFL. Like I got to look for like Taco Bell. Say Taco Bell has an internship. I can't think of a lower, okay, no. Say the local Boys and Girls Club.
Okay.
I would
And
have
maybe
a better
PR
chance
for
of getting.
them.
Yeah, so like sometimes like if there's anybody who's on the internship hunt, like not to say don't go for your dreams, go for it. Get that internship if you can get it. But if you can't, don't get discouraged. You just gotta find a place to start.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
Personally, for me, I have not looked into any internships because I don't know where to start because my career is kind of like it's health law. So it's like I don't have any background on law or anything like that. So to get into an internship, it's like you don't have any experience, you don't qualify. So
Right. They want you
And
to
they need
have
to change that.
experience, but we're trying to get experience.
exactly, like
They need to change that.
No.
That's so crazy to me.
No. Yeah, you might have to look for like like health administration internships or like
Yeah.
law firm, but that's
Yeah.
you can't just hey walk it, you know.
Right. Hey, what's up?
Like you would have to, and that's the thing too, like that's where networking comes in, because then it's like you got to get in contact with somebody and then they can point you in the right direction. Like, so I mean me and Ken, we always talk, but I would just, while we're talking about this now, I would be like, okay, local hospital, who's health policy, who's like, it doesn't even be exactly what you're doing too. Like if you could find something right beside it, like say
Yeah.
I'm PR and then they have like a broadcasting thing, like, and then I could try that before I go to PR. Like,
Right. Like my major is TV production. And the dream is to be like a showrunner, create my own talk show, and then maybe even work with SNL, right? But we all want to do SNL. So to a good internship would be like my old roommate Cameron, he put me on to like this internship for like a radio, like Disney type of thing. And that's
Okay.
perfect. I'm not gonna do radio, but that could get my foot in the door because Disney, that's great.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
true.
What are your dream careers when you graduate from Hofstra?
So I want to do health policy.
Okay.
That's just me working either in a hospital or like in a law firm. But I basically what I want to do is help create policies in the healthcare to change the healthcare system and policies that are kind of like wonky and
Yes,
stuff.
future
Yeah.
Dr. Ferguson, because we need to fix maternal mortality for
It's
Black.
it's
And I remember
very
you did
bad.
a presentation in our class where you spoke about how like it's a business, you know, and they don't really care about getting you well. It's more about just pushing pills in
Right.
your face. Yeah. So that's dope. And you, Taylor?
Y'all already know, but for those who don't know,
For those who don't know.
I would like to work for the NFL. So like my top dream is to become the director of communications, president of communications for the New York Giants. Like that's my dream.
Speaking to yes.
But yeah, I really just want to open the door for Black women in sports, especially for those that don't play. Because now that I'm like immersing myself fully into the industry and trying to make connections and listening to others, it's a big difference from when you were a player versus when you're not a player. Like I played sports, but that was middle school. Like I don't know anything about that sport life. I don't know anything about that college athlete life, but I love sports. I love football, and that's another thing. Women can't play football, but women, not saying women can't play football, they don't play in the NFL as of now. So my thing is, I really want to open the door for Black women in the business aspect of it, because now we have Black women opening up in the coaching aspect. Jennifer King, she's the assistant running back. Oh, I hope it's running back. She's the assistant coach for the Washington football team. I can't remember which one, which like part she's in, but yeah. So when you see like a Black vice president of something, like especially a woman in the male dominated industry, like that's big. So I just really want to open that up. Like that's my dream, regardless of what I do. Like I can be the social media content coordinator, I don't care. How can I open the door for others? That's my dream.
That's dope. Being like a pioneer for future Black women to come after you. That's dope.
Yeah.
I like that. Are you guys planning on going to grad school? Do you know yet?
Grad school's like law school and stuff like that.
Like to get
I'm not
master's?
Oh, definitely. I have to get my master's in public. I think it's public administration, public health administration, something like that, so that I can like have my foot in the door for like law.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm going to law school.
Oh wow, okay. Because
I don't know which one yet.
Do you need the business law aspect of it for what you're trying?
Yeah, so like I want to have like not saying that I need it, right? Like I could probably do it without, but just because you have that system where Black women Black people in general have to go above and beyond, I need it. Like and then it's like kind of a backup, because now it's so easy looking at my major and what I want to do. It's so easy to get into it. So if I have that law degree behind me, I could be an agent. I can work for a firm. So hopefully I can go into sports and entertainment law. I like have to look more into the concentrations of what, because each law school is different.
Right.
But that sports and entertainment law is really going to help me regardless. I can make it work. So say NFL don't work out, well, I got this entertainment law degree.
Take it somewhere else.
Right.
Right, because I think nowadays, especially for teachers, I feel like that's one example. You need like a master's or above. I feel like bachelor's is not enough anymore. And I know some of the comm school students were saying like, oh, I'm just getting my bachelor's, I'm done with Hofstra, I'm done with school. But I'm like, maybe I should continue, you know, just in case.
I wish I could be done. Like I could be like, okay, well, I have my bachelor's, I'm done, but I'm not going to get anywhere.
I feel like, and it just opens up your horizons. Like I have a cousin who started out, you know, she worked for interned with sports teams and all of that. I'm thinking, because she was like kind of like my inspiration, not all the way now, not all the way.
Okay.
But she was my I saw her do it, right? And so I'm thinking, you know, she never expressed that she was going to go above and beyond. And then now she's working for a tech company, but she does sales. And maybe that's what she want to do. But what I'm saying is when you go and get that you take that extra step, you open your horizons beyond what the bare minimum is. I really hope people won't take that the wrong way as me saying like that was the bare minimum, because it's not.
Right,
like,
it depends on what you.
It depends on what you want to do.
Stop at bachelor's. Some jobs.
Yeah. Some.
Right.
But it's like, think about like, say SNL. Say somebody has a bachelor's in TV production, but you have your master's, and you concentrated during your master's. You had of course, you had to write a thesis to get out. You wrote your thesis on how to conduct this. I don't really know nothing about TV production, so you know. But I'm saying you have that experience behind you. That's gonna put you over top of the person who just has a bachelor's, right? And it just opens up a whole nother world.
And then as all the credentials we can get as Black people.
Yep, I was about to say that.
Yeah. It's in a field that is so predominantly white and or male. So yeah, I totally agree. For those who don't know, HBCUs are historically black colleges and universities that were established before the Civil Rights Act of 1964 with the intention of primarily serving the Black community. A couple of notable and well-respected HBCUs are Howard University, Morehouse, Spelman, you name it. I wanted to ask you both, do either of you regret not going to an HBCU?
100%. Because
that part.
I was naive. I thought that, okay, if I just go to PWI, it wouldn't affect me that much. I can blend in with these people. Blend in with who? Blend in with who? Blend in with who? That I can blend in with these people. I can make it through. No, I'm missing out on the parties. I'm missing out on just the culture,
the comfort, the
food, the experience.
When I tell you, and it was a culture shock for me because I'm from the DMV, Chocolate City, Prince George's County.
Right.
My high school was a mini HBCU, and
You're
then
not used to Long Island.
I'm not used to this, and it's like you think you can adapt. Oh, it's a different thing, you know. No. It's different. That's what I try to tell myself. It's different. I'm gonna figure it out.
Right. I'm gonna grow from this.
Right. And I'm just
I'm young. I want to have fun. I want to go to the homecoming.
It's when you walk, and then it's beyond that. Say everyday life. You're going in a class, and you're the only Black person.
It's very sickening to me.
I'm not gonna say it sucks, because you grow from these situations. You do, truly. When we look back at it and we're 40 something and we're sitting with our jobs, we're sitting with our lives or whatever, we're gonna be like, okay, maybe Hofstra did provide this. Maybe our experience did, whatever. But right now,
right, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to reflect.
It's the conversation. They can't even relate. Even in my sports journalism class, we were talking so y'all remember the lady who wrote on Twitter, she's heading to Africa, hope she doesn't get AIDS. Remember that went viral? Y'all remember that?
No.
It was a popular story on Twitter before we were even on Twitter. So
okay.
We wouldn't really know it unless your teachers taught about it. But she said that, and so then the people in the class are like, well, do you guys take this with sarcasm? Or do you think it was a joke going wrong? Joke?
That's not a
This
joke.
is racism.
That's not a joke.
But see, I feel like because we come from what we come from, we are who we are. It's just a different conversation. So like being the only Black person in the class, it's like, well, dang, do I say something? Or if I do say something, then they gonna think, oh, she's taking it too serious. Like that's the stuff we got to deal with here, and that's because Hofstra's not diverse. If it was diverse and we weren't the only Black person in the class, it would be a little bit different.
There would have been more to a conversation.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be like, oh, are you gonna speak on behalf of all Black?
All Black, because then it's like if you say something, they think you're speaking behind all Black people.
Right.
It's just a lie.
And that's not the case.
I don't regret coming because I feel like for me personally, God let me here. That's the only way I'm here. I got into 20-something schools.
It was him.
It was him because he said, listen, I don't know how. It was him though. Because I had other HBCUs I could have went to. I just didn't want to go there.
Okay.
But I'm not that I didn't want to go there, but for some reason I chose Hofstra. Like I was like, okay, let's go.
I didn't even apply to HBCUs, and that's what got me tripped. Like I'm tripping. I was tripping because
I didn't even
could have applied.
Okay, I know some of the people are not gonna like this, but since we're up here, we talking. Let's bring it up.
Okay.
I feel like some of the people who go to HBCUs and they talk down on the people who go to PWIs need to realize that everybody does not have the same exposure and understanding of historically Black colleges and universities.
Definitely, yeah.
Because it's one thing if your school promotes that or your family promotes that. But you say the people who are up here in New York in this tri-state area, it's the closest HBCU is Delaware State.
Yeah.
So you know about an HBCU. Okay, oh yeah, all the Black people are over there, but it's not, you don't really understand the importance and the history behind it. So when you're choosing schools and you're figuring out, you have to figure out how close it is or how far it is from your home, how much money you have, all of that, and say something like Hofstra is your best choice for as far as scholarship. That's why I didn't go to Hampton, because I called Hampton up. They sent me the scholarship thing. Oh yeah, $10,000. I called them up, get the specifics. Oh no, it's $5,000 a semester. While their tuition is $60,000. Your tuition is $60,000. It's gonna go up. The man told me, oh yeah, this is gonna go up by a certain amount for your next year, but you're only offering $5,000 a semester, as opposed to Hofstra, who over here talking about, yeah, you can get $10,000 a semester.
Yeah.
So I feel like the Black community has to stop that when kids go to a PWI, because it's either this was the best choice for you and your family, or you just really didn't know about the option of going to an HBCU.
To piggyback off of that, like about not knowing about HBCUs like that, I think I had a basketball game or something like that when my sister went on a tour to HBCUs. I could have went on this tour, but I was like, no, I have a game, I can't go. So I missed out on all of like the HBCUs, the college tours of them, and like, seeing what it's like. Because I feel like if I saw what it was like, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going. Like, ain't nobody stopping me.
Right.
My sister goes to Howard. Like, I would have loved to go to an HBCU. Like, she talked it up.
Right.
I'm talking this school up.
It truly is a difference. Like, and I went on a college tour too, and I saw like,
you saw all the different HBCUs.
I saw like all of the ones in the South, from like South Carolina and then up to North Carolina. I mean, well, up to Virginia, because like Hampton was on the tour.
Okay.
So I mean, not all of them, but the ones that were on the tour.
Okay.
And it's like I saw that, even though I had that experience seeing it and I knew about it already, somehow I still ended up here. So it's like
it was fate.
It was something.
It was fate.
But I'm like, we have to stop that. And then telling people like, if you go to for HBCU for grad school, it doesn't count. What you mean it don't count?
Because I will sure be up in the grad school.
Up in the library. I love my HBCU with the books. I love my HBCU.
I go to the
right. A degree is a degree, whether it's undergrad or grad, right? And I just think it does make a difference, because I think like the cultural competency, like sometimes I'm in these classes and in the comm school, it's very white. And I'm oftentimes the only Black guy or the only Black person in my classes. And I remember taking, like, there's just one of many examples, but like I remember taking a script writing class and we all had to pick our favorite TV show and write a script. So I chose All American, and it's predominantly Black cast. So I was using slang, and I think I made one of the characters say like, "Oh, word, okay, that's what's up." And then the class was reviewing my script and giving me feedback. And one girl was like, "Oh," she was like, "Okay, fix that, fix that, fix that. What does that mean? Like word? Don't you mean like why is there a question mark? What does that mean?" And I'm just like, I had to laugh, and I saw like my old roommate laughing, but I was just like, what do you mean word? Like I just feel like it's very, I say certain things and a lot of white people are confused, a lot of non-Black people of color are confused, whereas in the HBCU you can speak and you don't have to like,
you could just be yourself, you don't have to code switch.
Yes. Yes. Those listening that are looking for schools, like you have to really think about like, are you willing to, because high school and college is very different, and I think I thought, it's gonna be the same, like same type of white people. It's like, think like you're gonna be living here. It's not just go to school and go home unless you decide to commute.
You're living amongst
them. Think
them.
about, do you want to go to PWI? How much money are they giving you? Do you want to go to HBCU? How much money are they giving you? And do it for you. You do kind of have to listen to your parents because we have Black parents, so we can't just be free willy-nilly. But think about what you want to do, while you're applying for stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Right. Switching gears to living on campus, the three of us and many of our friends dorm. How has your experience been with dorming, roommates, and RAs?
Dorming with the communal bathroom is way different from dorming in a suite
and having your own
bathroom. Like having your own bathroom is magical in some aspects where you just have that privacy, you have the time to yourself, but it also comes with partnering up with your roommates to clean up. So if your roommates aren't cleaning the bathroom and you always have to clean it, that's where an issue comes in. And then there's conflict and so on and so forth.
You clean this Sunday, I clean next Sunday. Like we have
but if it doesn't work out, then there's issues. Like I had issues. Anyway, but a communal bathroom is also, it's like, it's not bad, but
I feel like it's not as bad as the stories that I've heard.
Yeah.
Like when you hear stories about the community bathroom, you hear it's nasty. It's this, that, especially with women, because women you would really think women would be clean, but women are all over the place. And so it's like, it's not as bad, but it's still ridiculous.
I heard some crazy, like, she did what?
Like, it's the hair.
On the bathroom?
Right.
Like,
it's the hair in the shower.
It's the hair in the shower. It's the
that happened in the shower. That happened last week. And I wanted to take a picture of it and send it to the group chat.
Yes, and be like, who did this? Who did this? Because y'all.
My hair's not blonde. That's you.
Like, I really don't want to embarrass you all like this, but come on.
Right,
you're
we have
living
to do
amongst
better.
other people. Like, at least be respect. And I feel like with our school in general, they just get lazy because they think somebody is going to come and clean. These people don't even be coming every day to clean.
First of all, they don't even be thoroughly cleaning the bathroom. So it's like, y'all can't be doing this. Please.
I could see if they was in there cleaning.
What happens they not twice a day?
Yep. It's once a day.
It's not even right. It's once every other day. Like
once every other day.
It's like, really.
Yes. I think roommates. I did last year I did random. And it worked out. Random. Because I was coming in as a transfer, so they picked it.
Right.
Oh, okay.
They picked it for me. And it worked out.
Okay.
Which was good, but definitely I think, having a plan, communicating. You don't have to like your roommates, but make sure that you respect them and ask questions. What time do you go to bed?
Yes.
Are you clean? Can you keep your stuff on your side?
Those are very important questions. Like my freshman year, I also did the random selection where you get to like match up your roommate, kind of like you had similar
study habits and stuff.
Yeah, study habits, things like that. And it was a hot mess because I had at least 3 different roommates chosen for me. And then by move-in day, I finally had like one specific roommate. It was just a whole lot of drama that was unnecessary. But my roommate ended up being like one of my good friends, and I still talk to her. So it's give or take. Some people have horror stories, some people don't.
Yeah, I feel like my roommate experience was cool. Like,
what is your advice for people who are scared to like dorm and have a roommate? Should they just like be in a single, or should they just go with it?
if you feel like you're gonna be able to like you just need your own space, know that the school will charge you, but you can go ahead and get that single.
Is it
now? But you know what? I realized that even if you do have a roommate versus a single, it's around the same price.
Dang.
Oh, okay. Because someone told me that it's more to have your own space.
Yeah, I thought it was more too. I think it's more if you do like a super single. So if you do like the suite and then have your single, I think that's more. But if you're just in the towers, then it's around the same price. Because I looked at it this summer and I was like, oh, wow. But
yeah, and that's Hofstra. So if you are going to school, make sure you contact your resident life and ask a billion questions.
But for a freshman, I would advise not to do a single, only because you like limit yourself from meeting people and things like that. You know, like when you have a roommate, your roommate's also gonna have friends. So then that's a better connection to meet other people.
Like you'll have somebody coming in. Like on your first day of school or moving, you'll know somebody.
Exactly. So you can confide in like somebody, even if you guys aren't like the best of friends, like you have someone to talk to at the end of the day. And if you're in a single, you're really alone in that room. And imagine if you like chose a single during this pandemic, you're like
it's just like you and Netflix.
Right, it's you and Netflix, it's you and Zoom, because you can't bring anybody into the room.
Yeah.
Right. If you're like already established, kind of like we are, or if you're a senior, you're doing grad and you do a single, I feel like it's kind of okay. But
that's all right.
Yeah, if you're a freshman, it's kind of hard. So it gives you that confidence when you have a roommate. You guys are roommates, obviously. Do you recommend living with friends and like making sure you know your roommate and stuff?
I feel like it's important to know your roommate, honestly, because I can't do the random stuff. I can't have somebody come in my space and just be completely different from me. Like, I feel like it's going to bother me. It's going to get under my skin. Like,
you, like for freshmen, get in them group chats, ask who need a roommate, and don't just say the first person who says, oh yeah, me too. Okay, but ask the questions, like ask the important questions that matter to you.
Have a conversation.
Like me and my roommate last year, I think we met on Twitter, and not like we were like, okay, she seems cool, she seems cool, whatever. And then like, I mean, our thing was different. She was a cool roommate, like she was fine. But you know, I feel like that just comes in general though. When you're not used to living with someone, you know, you kind of get annoyed by people in your space and stuff like that. But it's like you have to learn how to communicate that as well. So if you're a freshman coming in, get in them group chats, starting to know people. So if you feel like when you come or you don't want to do the random thing, you'll at least know, you know, or have somebody to put down for the suggested part. Now, as far as living with friends, honestly, I don't know how that works, but I'm glad I live with Ken, because I mean, I feel like me and Ken are kind of the same, but also like we also learn stuff about each other too, like while living with each other. Like she know I be staying up, Ken be sleep, and then it was a part of the semester where like Ken goes to sleep. And then I started going to sleep, and then she's like, "Tay, I'm surprised you're going to sleep." And I'm like, "Well, I might as well go to sleep."
But it's fun, like living with your friend. Well, it depends on like your friendship.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a stable friendship like me and Tay, then it's gonna be fun. But if your friendship is kind of on rocky terms, it could be problematic. Like, but Tay and I be staying up laughing. Like,
no, they were tired of us the first semester.
Switching gears to like relationships, in an episode about colorism on college campuses as it relates to dating on Heart to Heart podcast, the live experiences of two young Black women hosted by Bria Watkins and Kimberly Collins. I just had an episode with them. They spoke about how light-skinned Black girls and or white girls get all the attention from men, particularly Black men. It's probably even more difficult now to date because of the pandemic. But how has you guys' experience been dating in college? Is it difficult finding a significant other?
I feel like it is. I feel like it's very hard finding like a significant other.
Like as a black woman?
As
Here.
a black woman, in a PWI, because it's very hit or miss.
It's hit or miss.
No, most likely it's gonna be a miss.
It's miss. You're like, oh, this person only dates white people, or this person only dates this specific type of people. What?
No.
You mean to tell me we had a PWI? We already got to stick together, and you talking about you only date these type of people. How does that?
No.
So for me, it's hard. Like for me, trying to find like a black boy here, like, because I'm not into this. I'm not gonna say that because that probably would be really bad. I have a preference of black men. There we go.
And you don't want the athlete type? Is that what it is?
That's wrong. I do.
Oh, you
the
do.
athlete. She wants that.
But you just don't see what
and the thing is, I see, but either the people that I see
in black women,
either that or they already have girlfriends.
Oh,
so it's like,
yeah.
Because I tell Ken all the time, if I was at an HBCU, I would have had me a starting five already. Not that I'm that type of person. I'm not the type of person to talk to like multiple people at one time because I just can't deal. But
right.
but I'm like, at least I would know that I can pull people.
The dating pool is so much bigger for black women at like an HBCU or a more diverse school, whereas a PWI, it's like there's only this much black people, and then it's like,
yes,
yeah. What about you, Kendyll?
But I feel like it's just hard dating in college because most people just want to hit it, period.
Yeah.
Most people just want to hit it. They're not looking for something that's going to last long. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this generation, it's very hard to find somebody that's genuine and actually like cares about growing and building a relationship with you. Most people are like, oh, I'm not looking for a relationship, but they want to hit it. And
or they want to like have you around so that you can be like their comfort person,
right? So whenever they call you, you're there. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's not.
And then
then
on top of that, like I feel like communication wise, it's just there's a lack of communication when it comes to like relationships and stuff like that. So that's why people have like Tinder and things like that. And I'm scared to go on some dating site because people are crazy.
Has a very funny story on her YouTube channel about one of her dating experiences.
that story took me out.
People are crazy. Like that's why I just don't believe in things like that. But college wise, I'm doing good. I got me a little honey, so
period.
Oh, okay.
Matchmaking services by Tay.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Does he go here or does he go somewhere else?
It's actually a she, and yeah, she plays for the team.
Here.
Yeah, basketball.
Oh, okay. Nice. Okay. Yeah, because I think it's like people want relationships or it's like they don't want relationships. And it's like, yeah, it's a mess.
It's just a lot. It's like everybody has different maturity levels. Like Kim be telling me all the time, Tay, like I'm telling y'all, I'm a grown woman trapped in the 20-year-old body. Yeah. Like I feel like I'm 55. Like I'm ready to settle down.
Like you're an old soul.
Yeah, I'm an old soul. So like, when I'm looking at relationships, I'm not looking at you just to be together for 3 weeks or a year or so. Like I want you to be my person. But that's me coming into something. So then you have to find the other person who wants that, who is aligned with your preferences.
Right.
It's just a lot. And like, I feel like it could be discouraging at times to some people. Like me, I don't really get discouraged by it. Like I just get irritated because I'm like, dang, I wasted time again. Like, it's not like I can't pull people, but it's like I just rather not entertain it because you're not getting quick sex out of me. You're not getting, a moment where you can just, have me and then say, oh yeah, I don't want this anymore. So right. I'm gonna slide by. No. So it's like
you have standards.
Yeah. And so then that's why I'm like, at the same time, enjoy your years in college, enjoy your singleness. Like,
yeah, definitely stop. Like, don't come into college thinking like, oh my gosh, I need to date somebody. Like, this is where I'm gonna find my husband.
Let it flow.
A lot of people think they're gonna find their husband in college. Honestly, just let stuff flow. Like
Let it
No.
flow.
like let it flow. Don't go looking because it's gonna find
it's
you
gonna
when
find
you're
you.
like when the time is right. Because
And you're gonna have those lessons where you live and you like. Don't try to prevent the lessons. Like I had lessons. I mean, lessons I had like, and they wasn't even, and they weren't even boyfriends. They were just people that I was talking to.
Right.
But so you have to go through those things in order to know yourself and
figure out what
know
you
your
want.
worth.
Yeah. So
yeah, just be open-minded.
yeah.
And if you want an online date, do that. If you don't want to, then that's you.
I don't feel like it's bad. I just feel
It's
like
not bad.
It's those, most of the people on there are not looking for anything serious. And if they are, something is off. Like if they say they are, no, because that's what happened to me. Like you just start to see stuff like, what in the world's going on? Like it's just a difference. And so I'm like, first of all, God told me I couldn't be online this year, but last year, because last semester I got banned off Tinder. And I didn't even do anything. Like I wasn't even out there being reckless. And I went on Tinder one day and it was bad. But see, it wasn't like I was actually going on dates with these people. Like it was just matching up and then talking a little bit. And that's it. I'd be ghosting people. So because then once I figure out what you really want, it's like, all right, bye.
Yeah.
And so I guess they banned me for that. But so I guess the Lord was like, well, your husband ain't finna be on here, so I don't know why you're on here. And now I'm on Hinge, and when I say the quality of people on Hinge is so much better than Tinder. So
that's good.
Do not go straight to Tinder. Go to Hinge. But just know that it's a good possibility that these people are not trying to settle down. They just up there trying to,
I think you never know. You could find your significant other like it doesn't have to be college.
Yeah.
I just felt like you might have to online date during like now.
Yeah.
Unless you're like trying to find somebody that goes to school with you, but yeah.
That's gotta be scary though.
Pandemic.
Yeah.
Right.
But enjoy, like we're in college. Like enjoy, let it come to you.
Enjoy your
life.
Enjoy your life.
Like
before you have to start worrying about somebody else.
Yeah. like
yes. Because
it's
let's say like you're good now, you're trying to get into a relationship, you get into one, and now your life's a mess.
Right.
Just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that you're gonna be happy. You have to make yourself happy before you.
Yes.
Right. You can't search for happiness. You have to be your own happiness.
Period.
So.
Right.
Talk to him.
What have you guys learned so far, and how has college changed you?
Do you want to start, or should I start?
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna take a minute. Let me take a beat to try to like process everything that I think I learned. I've learned to be independent mostly. Learning my way around school, learning my way around study habits, and managing my stress levels, because I'm very anal about things. Everything has to be like a certain way, and if it's not, I get very devastated. So I had to learn to just like take a step back and like realize everything's gonna be okay. Even if I get like a low grade on my first exam, I could pick it back up still. Because freshman year, I literally put so much pressure on myself that I would literally break down and think that I couldn't do this. I needed to drop out of college. So learning independence, learning how to manage my stress and things like that have really shaped me.
I think like similar to Kendyll, I think especially when like you're in high school and you just already have that, good grade type thing involved, everything. It's low-key like we're groomed like that in high school though, because they tell us, well, you got to have all this to get into a good school. So then you come into college and you're thinking it's going to be the same thing, not realizing that so much more when you come into college is put on you, because you have to, like in high school, we're on schedule. We have we have like, a schedule.
It's made for us.
Yeah. And in college is different. And so I think what college taught me is it's not that you can't do it. You just really have to manage your time, and that this is the time where you become the person you want to be. This is the time to be selfish with your time. And like, I literally have to tell myself that every day, because, and I think Kendyll learned this about me too this year, like I've made up scenarios in my head, and it might sound crazy, but I know I'm not the only one. Like that's how Miss NFL was birthed. Like oh, I'm going to be the NFL. So yeah, let me just do
Like
this,
using
right?
your imagination and creativity.
Yes. So it's like I would have my thought drawn out about a specific thing, and then I expect it to happen just because, and not saying nothing is wrong about that, but it's like you have to learn, like that's what I learned, life happens.
Yeah.
And it's not based on what you want. It's based on, if you believe in God, then what God wants for you, or if you believe, in fate or, manifestation, whatever,
Right.
with the universe, whatever you believe in, or, say you don't believe, listen, life happens regardless. It's not based on what you do, but you do have the ability to control your actions.
Mm-hmm.
And so what are you doing every day that's going to get you to where you want to be? And I think that's the biggest part that like is kind of still shaping me right now. Like, and don't be afraid to have those moments where you have to break down. Don't be like, you don't have to be strong all the time. Because a lot of kids go to college and they're first generations, or even if they're not first generations, they still have a different weight on them because how their parents see them. Yeah. And so it's like so many scenarios, but don't be afraid to be human. Don't be afraid to be, not saying that we're kids, but we're young. Don't try to grow up so fast. Like, that's what I have to teach. That's what I always have to teach myself. Like, you don't have to have this all figured out right now. Like, not saying you can't have it figured out, but allow yourself that room, allow yourself that grace to grow. Like, I had to break down this week because I'm like, bro, what's going on? Everything not working out.
No, that's
like,
real.
But then it's like, say I didn't have that background and that breakdown, and I wouldn't have the peace that I have now about my situation. Like, I wouldn't have the peace to even be talking about it. So it's like, allow yourself that grace, and take advantage of this time to figure out who you are, what you like, what you don't like, what you want to do. Like, and if you feel like you need to make the best out of this by having a schedule, like I have a schedule right behind my laptop.
Me too.
And that's going to help me, like, in the long run. If I stick to this schedule, I planned it out so I'll still have time to have free time and all that stuff. So do what works best for you. But I think college has shown me the world is yours and you really got to make your own path. Like, don't follow anybody else's path. Find out who you are. This is your time. Because think about it, when we were in high school, like, we did not have the time to freely be us. Like, I mean, we did.
On the weekend.
Yeah, on the weekend. Like, we're in school every day. We're around adults 24/7. Everybody's impact is getting poured into us. And now it's like, yeah, we have professors, we have, advisors, whatever, but it's really our time.
It's on you.
Yeah, it's on you. So I just think that's what college has taught me so far. And it's like, don't be afraid of the journey. Like, I'm the type of person too, everything has to be a certain way. Like, not saying nothing is wrong with that. I just think this how, once you're grown, you're accustomed to that lifestyle for a certain amount of time. That's just how it is. And it's good to be like that. You have structure to you. But don't be afraid when things get crazy. Things come unexpected or unorthodox.
Specifically, like, if you change your major, because I started off as a bio major. I wanted to go into dermatology. I had everything planned out for me. I said, I'm going to do this, just to make my parents proud and to make myself proud. And when I realized, like, this is not what I wanted to do, I broke down. Like, I was crying. My mom was like, Kendyll, it's okay. Like, she changed her major almost 7 times while she was in college.
Wow.
Because she went to pharmacy, back to nursing, and then like switched to different things. And she was like, you have time to figure this out. Like, you don't have to have everything planned. Yeah, my throat is dry.
Do you want to get some water?
No, I'll be all right. But basically, like, that just put me at ease because I thought I had to have the answers to everything. So
yes, I could. Yes,
you guys. And this is the time to really figure out, like, because when you think about the systems that we have in our country, like, we really are the future. Mm-hmm. And this, our parents are gonna get old. We really gonna have to say when we turn about 40, 50, we're gonna have to say that's just how it works in America. Mm-hmm. So figure out what you want to do and figure out how you could set yourself up. Not only say you want to have a family one day, or say you just want to be that, that guy or that girl, like multi-millionaire, whatever, because people are going to tell you, you got to go to college. You got to major in this. What did they tell y'all now? The STEM majors make money. The medical majors make money. All that stuff. But say you don't want to do that. I was in the STEM program for 4 years and I hated it. And my dad was saying like, oh, like you chose one of the easiest majors. Okay, to you, but I know how I can make public relations work for me. I don't care what y'all pick. I mean, that's not being, rude or anything.
Oh yeah.
But don't listen to when you turn 18 and you got to choose what college you're going to, or if you're going to make that move, make the moves you want to make. Let the lessons follow. Like,
who's going to be in the class? Who's going to be taking the class? Who's going to be paying student loans? Not your mom, not your dad, not your parent or guardian. It's going to be you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely learned that. I think I told you guys, like, I majored in biology. I don't know what I thought I was doing. I thought I wanted to be the next Jesse Williams on Grey's Anatomy. I don't know. But I had to realize that like I didn't want to be a doctor. I thought it looked cool. I thought it would make my parents happy. I thought that's what they wanted me to do. And then my mom's a nurse, so I thought she would be proud. But it's like, no, I don't like biology. I appreciate science for what it is, but the class was difficult and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So now that I'm doing TV production, it's difficult, but it's fun and I like what I'm doing. And I feel like that's a big difference, And I would just tell people, like, we're not done with college. We still, like, I have 1 more year to go. You guys have 2 more years. But so far from what I learned from, commuting at Iona College, transferring, coming here, I learned that change is okay. It's okay to transfer. People were telling me, Cervantes, why are you going over there? You think that school is better, or like I'm gonna miss you, don't leave. But it's like, I can't stay because of one girl. I can't stay because of one friend. I have to do what I need to do. And if that's Hofstra, I have to do that. And people are like, oh, you shouldn't dorm, it's too expensive. Or stay home, be with your family. You don't know what you're doing. You're gonna be a small fish in a big pond. But it's like, how am I ever gonna grow as a person if I stay in a shell in a small white suburban town,
Right.
And change is okay. It's okay to change your major. It's okay to be outside your comfort zone. I'm the PR for BSU and NAACP.
Period.
That's cool. Thank you. And like, I was nervous to do that. Like, I'm used to being a member, but now I'm on the e-board.
I can't wait to get on e-board. Like, I'm running when it opens back up. Like,
but like, I think sometimes I'm kind of scared of change, but now I'm starting to like embrace it more. Like this podcast, I was like, do people listen to me talk? Like, is this? But I like the conversations I'm having. I want to have certain types of conversations because people need to hear, and this is part of my major. So why should I, talk and speak with my friends and family, or just, people in general? So yeah, I think, don't be afraid to try something new, like you guys said.
Yes.
You guys, what's something you wish someone told you before you began college?
You don't have to know your major.
Okay.
I don't know what I would have done if I didn't No, I know what I would have done if I didn't do healthcare. I would have went to like culinary and hospitality. But the idea that I had to know my major because my advisor was just not helpful and she wasn't a good one, and she forced me to basically choose what I wanted to do, it kind of like threw everything off, because I feel like I wouldn't have felt so much pressure going into college if I went in undecided and explored my possibilities.
I'm trying to think like what I wish, but I don't know, maybe this is just personal to me. I wish that the people who said they were gonna, I mean, it's kind of deep, but the people who said they were gonna be there, like, how people tell you, oh, you can call me, if you need anything, blah blah blah. I wish they would have, it's something they could have told me. They told me what they told me, but I wish they would have been honest about the situation. Like, if I can call you, that means I can call you. Not I like the idea of I can call you. But but that's one thing. But another thing would be you have to be open to how other people are. Not necessarily of the fact that you're judging them, but you can't expect people to have the same standards that you have. I almost wanted to say common sense, but it's not necessarily common sense for everybody. Because I remember like we lived in the suite and I'm thinking everybody's gonna clean, you know, everybody's gonna be this way, respectful towards everybody. And it just wasn't like that. And it's not necessarily that they weren't like that, it's just they didn't know any better. But I wish somebody would have told me like be open to how other people are raised. Cause like you kind of think like with me and Ken, even though we still have our, not saying they're bad differences, but we still have differences about how we grew up. But it's kind of like we have similarities too that drew us together, right?
Right, and you spoke about it.
Yeah, so it's kind of like you got to be open to how other people grew up and what they experienced too, and not just expect people to be a certain way.
Yeah.
Yes, like I remember, like for us, like we're Black and I feel like we all, like our parents and us, we clean the house every Sunday. I wake up to reggae music on Sundays, or I wake up to Spanish music on Sunday. Every Sunday, my mom is cleaning, my dad's cleaning, and then when I started, when I did that in my last dorm, blasting music and cleaning, people were like my roommates said, "Oh, like you're cleaning a lot, like you don't have to do all that." And I'm like, "Yes, I do." "Oh, wait, in your family, maybe that's not a
right.
Maybe you don't do that. Maybe your mom's doing it." Whereas for me, it was like, nah, N-word. Like you're 12 now. You need to you need to start cleaning your room.
Not N-word.
You know, like,
It's
something
her
that I
room.
wish somebody told me. Yeah, you don't have to have your major picked out, like what Kendyll said. I feel like if I came in undecided, I would have picked communications faster. But then instead, I did biology for a year and a half. Thank God, I'm still gonna graduate on time because I'm not trying to stay here for 5-6 years.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, I think if it's okay to be undecided. It's okay.
Yeah. And don't think that even when you do have your like designated degree and automatically you're not in the position where you could get your dream job, don't think that that's bad either. Like sometimes you just have to hop around, figure out what's what in the field, and you're gonna get to it. Like so, I would say don't put that much pressure on yourself either to come out of college to get your dream job too, because sometimes like it's gonna be good too for you to experience those different avenues. So
right. What is your advice for incoming freshmen? Any last minute advice for incoming freshmen about to enter college in the fall of 2021?
Ooh, I would say join lots of clubs. Yes. I personally don't do that because of the pandemic. But definitely join lots of clubs so you can make more friends and like just expand your horizons. Like take a yoga class. Definitely. That's what I recommend. Take a yoga class. It will change your life. As crazy as it sounds, like yoga really like helps you just refocus all your energy into something positive, and it's really great.
Those days where I had yoga first, great days.
It was just something amazing about yoga. Like it's life-changing.
Right. And you, Taylor?
I would say it's March, so y'all probably are winding down your list of schools. It's March, you have time, to make your final decision. Make sure you do your research, and have an open mind. If you don't have it all figured out, but you know that school is for you, then go ahead and take the best steps that are for you. And if you feel like school is not for you, so you want to build an app, you want to do stocks, you want to do whatever, like figure out what you want to do. Because sometimes too, I feel like it's not all about the money. Like a lot of kids go to college because they feel like this is what is going to help them make money. And if that's a goal of yours, but you feel like school is not the best option, figure out ways you can make money without school. It's a lot you can do. These people try to tell you, they want to. Have y'all ever heard of the rat race? Like one person do something, everybody else start doing it, and it's a cycle. Yes. You don't have to be a part of that if you don't want to do it. So just figure out you have time before graduation, do your research, figure out what you want to do and what's the best step for you.
Right. That's good. Thank you guys. I appreciate it for you guys joining me on the podcast.
Thanks for
you can follow
us.
Taylor at @TheTaylorLindsay on Instagram, and is it Regally Tay on YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Greenleaf on YouTube, and you can follow Kendyll on Instagram at its.kendyll. Thank you guys. Have a good one. Happy